Good afternoon, my YouTube friends. It's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and if this is the first time you're listening to my channel, I do welcome you and thank you for joining me. So what am I doing today? Well, I'm in the garage, and I've got the table here, which is our outside table, but this is the only one big enough to show you the Dendrobium collection that I've got. And got the shelf there to just place them on after, and I'm just going to sit down now and show you which ones I've got. So I just thought I'd go through each individual one and just hope the video isn't too long. So this is the little Dendrobium Williamsii, and of course you remember this one because I've shown it once or twice before, and this is the one that has the little furry canes. I don't think it's a big dendrobium at all. I mounted her on this piece of bark, and she loves it. You can see that little new root there elongating, trying to find the bark. And the other roots are, of course, under that sphagnum moss. This one will get a winter rest, and although I've not watered it today, but the rest of the Dendrobiums I have watered, and some of them have been fed as well. So let's place her over there. This is the other one. You can see she's wet through. This one is. You see that little tiny root there? And let's have a look who she is. And she's Dendrobium moniliform. She sits on this piece of cork bark, and she's got sphagnum moss tied on with fishing line. Now, as you can see, she's got several of her roots that have searched out the bark. Some of them are searching out the medium, and I did have this one originally from an eBay seller, and of course I was quite a novice. She came mounted, but after a couple of years, I think I've maybe had her 3 years now, after a couple of years she didn't seem to do anything. She didn't seem to develop any flowers, so I unpotted her and potted her up, but then she didn't like the being potted up, so I unpotted her, and now she's on this mount and she loves it. So she's got some of the canes there, but I'm going to leave those on. Excuse me. If there's any desiccated canes, I usually just cut them off. So we bear with me while I just place that one over there. And this is one, if you remember this one. This is one I got from Orchid Species, and it came full of, excuse me, mealy bugs. It was a huge big specimen as well. But and of course I didn't know anything about mealy bugs. So this one's been mounted on this little piece of cork bark here. The other piece of cork bark, none of them survived. So I'll place this one over here. I think what we'll do when just before we go on holiday, I'll just put her in a little pot because I don't want her to completely dry out. She wouldn't survive it. So let's look at the next one. Oh, I'll put that one over here. Let's just put that little bit of... There we go. Let's look at this one here now. And this just sits in this little pot in this vase here. And this one's called Dochrilla Catherine. Now, I have gone on YouTube to find the name Catherine, and I've not been able to find that, so whether or not that's the correct name, I don't know. Excuse me. Deborah's got a Dochrilla. She's in New Zealand, of course, and what they do is they send out new needles. They don't have leaves, and then from these needles they have the flower inflorescence comes, although she's never flowered for me. She has given me a couple of new needles, And let me just stand up. Oh dear. And it's easier to stand up. She's got this root which is elongating here, and she's got a new root there. So what can we say about this one? I just have to be patient. Let me put her to one side, and let's have a look at the next one. Right, I'll do this one next because we're all familiar with this one. And this is, of course, the Dendrobium polyanthum. What else can I say about poor Polly? Other than, as we all know, I nearly killed her because I repotted her and she absolutely hated it. And there's the new cane there. She's got a new cane developing there. She's got new roots. Some of these old little brown canes I will eventually cut off. And as you can see now, I was so excited the other week that she'd accepted this new medium, and she started to show signs of life. So there we go. These canes aren't half as wilted as they were, and so I'm really chuffed with that one now. It's a gold star for me, even though I'm going to give it myself, because I hate to lose them, especially when it's, when I've killed them. Let's put her back in there. And if you remember this little one, this one here, she's mounted on this little bit of cork bark, and she was the little tiniest cakey that just fell out of the pot with that one. And she's got these new roots there, and I've tied her on with some fishing line, and she's developing new leaves, and hopefully, keep my fingers crossed, she'll be fine. She's just in an ice cream container, so just to keep her warm. Now let's have a look at this one. Take her out of the pot, put her on here. Dendrobium load of Jessie. Lot of Jessie. Now this is the one that everybody seems to be able to grow but me. And I'll just pause for a minute because I've got my phone here, and oops. What I'll try and do is just open this up on the page. This is where, it's difficult to multitask. Let me just have a look where she is, and then I'll be able to show you what she looked like when she came. You just bear with me a minute. Of course, when you're searching for something, you can never find the one that you want. Oh, here we go. Nope, wrong one. Let me just do apologise about this. Come on now, let me find her. Oh, she's here. Right, let me show you what she looked like. There you are. That's what she looked like. Excuse the light, let's put her up. Let's do it up here, and then that's what she looked like. So if I move across, those were the little canes when they came. Look at that, and look at her now. I don't know what I've done wrong, but I did something anyway. I upset her, and maybe because she's been repotted and she doesn't like to be, a bit like this one. I think some of the Dendrobiums don't like to be disturbed, and of course I'm one of those that I get paranoid if I think they've come with anything, especially some. I think this one might have come from Madeira, so if they come from Madeira, the alarm buttons start, and I have to unpot them, whether I should unpot them or not. Anyway, I'll just have to be patient with this one. So let's put her back over there, and let's have a look at what we're going to look at next. Let's stand up And I'll bring you these two forward here. That's the first one, and this is the second one. Now let's have a look. So they're both the same plant, and this came from Curling Orchidean in Germany. So this is the Dendrobium King Zip Red Splash. One's just potted up in the small pot. It's a terracotta pot, and she's sending out some lovely new growth there. So sorry, some lovely roots, and what can I say? She's very healthy. This is the bigger division of the two. It just naturally split in two when I opened them out and repotted them. Look at the roots there. This one's sending those new roots out to search that medium. There we are, €19.50. So I got two plants out for that one. I'm not sure what the flowers are going to be like. I've googled them and they look very nice. I don't know, never having the Kingianum type Dendrobiums before, I'm not sure what to expect or where the flowers will develop. So if I just put this one over here and place this one back with her, I'm really chuffed about that one. So now the next two, if I can very gently, the trouble is with some of these Dendrobiums, they're very, very top heavy, and if you're not careful, there we go. Right, so this is Comic King, and you see that? I went into panic stations with that. I thought she got spider mite, so she got sprayed. Then she sent out this new growth here, and this new growth as well, and this one here, that had a caterpillar there. I hadn't noticed it, and by the time I did notice it, the caterpillar had formed the cocoon round it like that, and then it was inside eating that damn leaf. So what can I say? And this bit here as well. And I could tell you, I squashed that between my fingers, I tell you. So there we go. What more can I say? She's doing fine. This is another little piece here that didn't have any roots at all. There were just two canes that were left. I thought, well, I won't throw it away. I just put it in this little pot and wired her in. She's developed roots and she sent a new growth out. And this one just hangs on the orchid shelf. And being careful as I am, let me just move over here. And this is what she looks like when I first had her. I think this one came from Burnham Nurseries. Beautiful, isn't she? And she's flowered every year for me, so I'm very lucky. But this sent me into panic station, so that's one of the reasons that they repotted. So that one's in bark, and I have to be careful with this one because she's very top heavy. And this one I just placed in lava rock and hydrogen balls. So I'm not sure whether those roots are going to respond, but she'll have to just stay there now because she's due to have a winter rest, and she'll just go. I shan't water her much at all. In fact, at the end of October, we're going to go on holiday in November, and the ones that require the winter rest, we'll start that winter rest when we go away, and they're already now sitting on the south-facing windowsill to get the maximum light possible. There we go, and then they'll get that winter chill. So hopefully by next spring we will get some lovely flowers forming. Now let me pick this big one up. I have to be careful again with this big one here. And this is the, well, let me show you the label. This one, which is labelled Densiflorum, and that's not a Densiflorum. This is a Thisithorum. That's a terrible name to get your mouth and tongue round. Right, so what can I tell you about this one? She's very healthy. She wasn't. She'd got quite shrivelled canes here, and she'd got no new growths at all. So without the new growths, then they cannot produce the flowers, because the flowers are produced on viable canes. So I gave her, the harsh treatment, and she rewarded me by giving me this new leaf here, this new cane, sorry. Now, if I go back here now, ooh, be careful, I don't want to knock her over. Just hold on. I might sit down to do this, because otherwise, let me just show you. Let me get this iPhone going the right way. So what happens is, when they start to develop the flowers, it comes down, and it just comes down like a bunch of grapes. Just comes out of the side, where on a newish cane like here, and it is just, they have nodges on the side, and one of those nodges will just break open, and let me just find a couple more now for you to look at. Just let me get this phone in the right direction, so if I don't get it in the right direction. No, that's not the one I want. Bear with me a minute, folks. So this is what she looks like when she's in full bloom. They don't last very long. It's like a bunch of grapes, like I've just explained, and then each of those grapes becomes a flower. And the colour is absolutely gorgeous, vivid orange, and this perfume, it's like baby powder. So I've been very lucky, and I do take photographs, and I never know how to import them onto the video, so this is hence my reason for just bringing my phone up to show you. Now this one does require a winter rest, and she'll get put in the south-facing window, well, she's there now, and then she'll get the chill over the winter. This is a big Nobly No ID, and my daughter bought me this quite a few months ago now, and this huge big cane here was full of white flowers. Beautiful they were, and since then I've been able to grow this big new cane here, and she's just sending up this other new cane as well here. She's got some lovely viable roots, and there's one coming over the side of the pot there. That's the only problem with the Dendrobiums, is they can be very top heavy. This one will get a winter rest, and hopefully she will then give me some lovely white flowers in the spring. Let me just show you this big one at the back here now. Doesn't have to be. Ooh, just hold on. This one here. And if you remember this one, I think this is one of the Kingianums, and this is one that was gifted to me. And she's got the name Ellen. She's a lovely specimen, this one is. And if you remember now, this one's potted up in lava rock. So if I just try and see those roots. Let's have a look if we can see down there. Let's just turn around. And there we go. Look at the roots there. She's got a new growth developing there as well. So this is in one of those pots that, if I lift her up and shake them, can you hear that? So this one's got a reservoir of water at the bottom. And even though she's been watered today and she's, you know, it's been drained, she will always have this reservoir at the bottom. Now I don't think the Kingianums actually have a